Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode number 11 of the unofficial, unofficial Rogue Company podcast, Broguecast. I'm here with Cole Reed.
I'm here with Dirt Lord.
I'm here with Garbo.
And I'm here with Griffin.
And this is the Rogue Company podcast that gives you all the news that you need to know going forward, as well as community issues. And we are going to hit it right off the bat, talking about This Week in Rogue Company that came out on October the 29th. So there's not a lot of stuff that's happened since the last episode of Broguecast because everything is kind of preparing more or less for the new season to drop. They haven't released, much. The only thing that they've released is This Week in Rogue Company and the invitational stuff. But we've got a couple of topics that we're going to hit. And first of all, we're going to start with This Week in Rogue Company. So, all right. So we have some more season 4 changes that are going to be coming, of course, in the season 4 update. And it's a couple of minor changes. Some are a little bit more, drastic than others, but we'll just tackle them one at a time. I made a little breakdown here of what the changes actually are, so we can kind of hit on these. First up, so the devotion. So what they originally wanted to do in the live stream was they wanted to increase the fire rate of the devotion, and then whenever you made it to that upgrade tier for the devotion, it was going to increase the fire rate even more, which I don't know what the numbers on that would be, but it would make it on the same level as like the D3DI, or possibly even faster than the D3DI. And you saw in This Week in Rogue Company, a body shot's 47 damage?
Yeah.
And a headshot 74 damage. That is insane.
Insane.
Yeah. It's a sniper rifle without a scope on it, basically,
Take people down with armor in 2 shots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and they also increased the magazine size. I don't think that they talked about this on the update show, or they didn't mention it in the update notes that they released on their website either. But I guess that they were tinkering with both to see which one actually made the weapon a little bit more viable without making it like OP, which is good. Like, that's what they should do to some of these changes for weapons. They should buff it in multiple ways and then adjust it with updates. See, if we had a longer PTS cycle, then they could go in and they could make all these micro adjustments, and then they could do an update like every couple of days where they would bring this down, bring this up, and let everybody know to try it out and give feedback on it. And we would probably be able to get the weapons balanced a lot quicker, But I think that the devotion, if they're going to just increase the magazine size and they're going to revert the fire rate, I think that that's fair enough, because once you hit that upgrade where you increase the fire rate, it already shoots pretty fast. So if they were going to make it shoot even faster than that, then that was going to be a situation, to say the least,
Mm-hmm.
So the perk changes, they're reducing the cost of nimble hands and they're increasing the cost of padded steps. What do you guys think?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
No,
Should
I
cost
like
more,
padded step.
probably.
Padded steps, probably, but I love padded steps the way it is now, though.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a fucking
I
top tier
know
perk.
it's a good.
It is a top tier. It's one of the first
I
ones
mean,
I buy.
I do it every
has
time.
I was about to strongly agree. It's definitely one of the first perks I bought. That's probably why I hate that they're adding an extra $1,000 on it.
In some cases, in the first round, I might forego buying a grenade to buy it.
I mean, you can still buy it in the first round. It's just, again, that extra $1,000.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, if you laid all the perks out on a table and you pick like the strongest perks, almost everybody is going to pick padded steps and life drain.
Absolutely.
That's the 2 I usually buy. That bounce back.
Yeah, bounce back. And that's going to be, yeah. And that's going to, like, bounce back is going to be even more useful whenever they increase,
Yep.
the time to get your health back on that. So there's a community issue or a community question or topic about padded steps. So we'll dive a little bit deeper into that later on. But nimble hands is one of those perks that, like, it makes sense why it's there, but I think that a lot of people don't buy nimble hands because of the secondary effect of it. So whenever you purchase nimble hands, it makes you swap weapons faster, but it also increases your reload speed.
Mm-hmm.
If it was me, I would let the reload speed be the selling point of the perk, and then the fact that it makes you swap weapons faster be the secondary effect of that. I think that they're kind of tackling, the description of that perk incorrectly, in my opinion, because I mean, reload speed is a huge help over being able to swap weapons faster, unless you're running like runway. That makes sense.
Yep. Big guns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that Nimble Hands is kind of a less purchased perk because a lot of people either they don't know or they forget that it actually increases or
reload time.
It decreases the reload time on that. So I think that that's something that they could easily work out just by changing the description of it, And then the SMJ. Hold on.
SM James.
SM James.
Sorry, I had a tickle.
I was like, all right.
Like James Brown, but it's an SMG.
Yeah, right. So the SMG range reduction has been reverted. And what they basically said in This Week in Rogue Company was they want to bring up the viability of all other weapons compared to assault rifles. So they want to put the assault rifles in the place that it needs to be and then adjust all other weapons around it, which makes sense because it is the middle ground between SMGs, DMR, sniper rifles, and shotguns, right? But I mean, the assault rifles and SMGs have been in the game for a while. They've had several changes to them. They've had the ranges increase, decrease, fall off damage, increase, decrease, all this other kind of stuff. It's like we're going full circle. It's like they're just now releasing the game again, and they're having to go in and do all these adjustments to the weapons again.
It's like a different game, new game.
Yeah, right. So I'm hoping that they get the assault rifle stuff worked out very quickly, and I think that like the submachine guns already feels like it beats ARs in almost every situation except for extreme distances. But I mean,
even then, if you got the right one, dude, that LMP, it's a burner. It's pretty much an AR.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
especially when you upgrade it.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll
That's
get that.
Gonna suck that won't be able to do that anymore. But
well,
make the ARs better.
If they're gonna adjust the AR range and everything, like, and on paper it should be simple. Like the DMR damage range should be the highest other than the sniper rifles, right? And then it should be like a 20. If the maximum range that a weapon can actually hit and do damage is 100, then the sniper rifles should be at 100. DMR should be at 80. Assault rifles should be at 60. SMG should be at 40 and shotguns should be at 20. Like that's how it should break down, in my opinion. But I know that they're adding weapons. They're wanting to give weapons different attributes, so it may have a longer damage range, but it may do less damage, all this kind of stuff. I get that. But like, just put it all on paper and adjust it based off of those values. And I think that it would be okay.
Yeah.
But what do we know?
We don't.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately. And then they went in depth with the shotgun changes. Now, I didn't have a problem understanding the shotgun changes whenever I watched the live stream. I understood what they were saying. I understood what they were going for. I understood why they were bringing the overall damage of the shotguns down, but they were making it do more damage more consistently per shot. And like we talked about in the community section of Broguecast last episode, there was a huge misconception on whether the shotguns were being buffed or nerfed, and there was a huge debate on Reddit about whether they were being buffed or nerfed. And like we said, a lot, transparency and actually explaining everything and giving everything in as much detail as you possibly can is going to help the community, especially people that are non-native English speakers, an easier way to understand everything. And I understand why they doubled down on it on This Week in Rogue Company, but they should have probably done that in the live stream instead of trying to rush through it like they did. That's just my thoughts on it. So, but I think that's going to be the last of the Season 4 changes. And by the time that this episode comes out, the Season 4 update will actually be live in the game. So the next episode of Broguecast is probably going to be about, our thoughts on the Season 4 changes. And then I'm sure at this point they're going to have either a balance update come out or probably about 18 hot fixes in that first week that season 4 releases. So I'm sure that's going to be the main topics that we're going to hit on the next episode. All right, next up we have Rogue Company Invitational. All right. CMG has been doing 10K tournaments, and they do like 3 a week, it feels like. You know, every week it feels like they're doing a 10K tournament. And which is fine. Like that's all good and great and everything, but it's constantly like, you know, 10K tournaments. We'll go into that.
It's an overload, dude.
Yeah, we'll go into that here in just a second. But basically, what it is, this is the first Rogue, like official Rogue LAN event that is going to be sponsored by CMG, Rogue Company or High Res and Skill Shot, and it's actually taking place in Atlanta. And the way that it's going to work is there's going to be 4 invited teams that has participated in some of the 10Ks that have been happening over the year, and then they have an open qualifier where 2 other teams can compete in the open qualifier to go to the LAN event. I understand why they're inviting teams because they've been doing this for so long over this past year. But the open qualifiers, they're doing that on December the 4th and the 11th. And on January the 5th and the 6th, they're actually doing the LAN event at the Skillshot Esports Studio in Atlanta, Georgia. And if this wasn't on a weekday, I would go to this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that it's in the damn middle of the
I know.
week. Like,
I know.
People don't have jobs and shit, but whatever.
So it says that the event will start off with a group of play best of 3 bracket within each group, and then lead into the main best of 5 bracket. Each group will go head to head in a grueling double elimination bracket with best of 5 matches all the way through. When the dust settles, only one team will emerge victorious and walk away with the largest part of the 10K prize pool. Of course, they're going to broadcast this stuff on the Rogue Company Twitch page and the CMG Twitch page and all that good stuff. They probably won't allow people to stream, I'm guessing, while they're competing. I don't know. I don't think that they do that on LAN events, do they?
I don't think so, because the computers are already monitored for like hacks and.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but they'll like broadcast. They'll screen cap them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Probably play them on the
Yeah. So this is awesome. I'm glad that they're doing their first LAN, and I hope that, you know, maybe this can get a little bit more traction and people can kind of take the competitive side of it more seriously, because, you know, the more people that compete competitively in the CMG stuff or any of the tournaments and if they're content creators, of course, it's going to, like, you know, garner more attention for the game and possibly bring more people into the game. So it just sucks that, like, this is taking place during the week, like January the 5th and 6th. Like, that really doesn't make any sense. And then, like, let's talk about esports as a whole for a second, right? So, like, whenever, like, people want to compare esports to regular sports, right? And then regular sports has a season, and then they have playoffs, you know?
Yeah. I see where you're going with this.
So, yeah. And what I'm saying is, like, you have 10K tournaments. I think it's like realistically once a month, but you have all these 10K qualifiers, and then you have all this other stuff. And then whenever you actually have the 10K, you know, tournament playing out, it's like a 2 or 3 day event that's back to back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no season. There's no way to be like, oh, I really like this team and I like this team's energy. I want to follow this team and watch all the games that they play. You don't have that in esports, and you especially don't have that on CMG. You know, I mean, you can go on their website and check out the stats and all that good stuff, but, like, it just doesn't follow the same format as regular sports. And I think that if esports followed a format similar to sports teams and had an off season and then had a competitive, you know, the competitive season itself, I think that you would probably get a lot more people taking esports seriously, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's harder to televise it and everything, because it's like,
it's always going. Yeah. Every day.
Yeah. Like, how do you follow it? Like,
you got to have some kind of internet channel that just runs all the time, like the Fox News of esports. You know.
So I mean, on the competitive side of things, just in general with esports, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it would work better if it was more traditionally structured, like a sports schedule?
Well, it would give you something to look forward to if there's a build up to like some kind of championship.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like 10K tournament. Yeah, but there's one of those every other day. Like, you know.
Real there is.
But yeah, that's going to be happening, and I'm hoping this will kind of start, you know, a snowball effect to where they start taking the CMG stuff, the 10Ks, the qualifiers, and all that stuff a little bit more seriously, and then they kind of develop some type of schedule where it is easier to keep track of everything, to where you can actually find a team that you really like and that you kind of want to root for, and you watch their games. I mean, the best of 5 is great. I like watching the best of 5, but here's what I don't like watching about the best of 5. Why is King of the Hill and why is King of the Hill part of it? Why do they have respawn modes as part of their competitive best of 5?
Yeah.
Strikeout shouldn't be a part of it. It's so boring to watch the respawn modes being played competitively, in my opinion. And I watched a lot of the stuff whenever it was just Demolition, and I enjoyed that a lot. And then when they started introducing King of the Hill and Strikeout, you know, they wanted to do that so that they could increase the viewer count, because, you know, a lot of casual players like watching people play Strikeout and they like watching people play King of the Hill. But the reason that those casual players enjoy playing those game modes is because they really don't care if they win or lose. They're just hopping on, getting a couple of games in, it goes how it goes, and then they log off. They're not really worried about playing. Like Demolition and Extraction and Ranked, of course, is a little bit more competitive. You actually have to worry about what you're doing and not run around and die the whole time and it be okay, you know? So I would like to see them go to a best of 3. In my opinion, get rid of best of 5. Just do best of 3 for the whole season. Do a best of 5 for the 10, you know, whatever the big pot is where the championship's happening at. But do a best of 3 Demolition and be done with it. I don't want to watch Strikeout. I don't want to watch King of the Hill. I think it's fucking boring as shit. I don't find it enjoyable at all. Get rid of it. Make it Demolition.
Yeah.
So
I don't even like watching people play that when it's not a tournament. So seeing it in the tournament, I'm just like,
yeah, I understand the appeal of the respawn game modes. I get
that's for
it.
Farming, you know, XP, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
You level those weapons up pretty quick.
Yeah. If all we played was respawn modes, we'd probably have all of our weapons mastered by now.
Big time.
For sure, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So next up, Kremar. We're coming back to the well, baby. Kremar is always there for us. You know what I'm saying? Well, I got to get Kremar on the podcast. I need to do an interview with Kremar.
Yeah.
I think I might do that. I'm going to reach out to him. Kremar's got a post over here on Twitter. So this is Guava's ability. So the next rogue that I don't think that they're a rogue. I think that they're actually a member of Justicar. Thank fucking God, finally. A year in, and we're finally getting a Justicar character. But they released the Guava ability. So this was something that Kremar data mined. And this is kind of the description. It says they haven't added Guava in this update, but they already added his or her ability. So the ability is a spider. It's a remote-controlled drone with the appearance of a spider that can be used to seek enemies and detonate near them, causing significant area damage. So,
damn. Yeah,
right. So my question here is like, all right, are you going to be able to control the spider?
Yeah. Or do you mark somebody, then it goes for them? Is it like a secret drone?
I don't know. It says remote control.
I guess you're flying it.
Fly.
You gotta fly it in there, you know?
The flying spider. I'm out, dude. They have flying spiders in the game. I'm out.
Yeah. Fuck that. I fucking hate spiders. Well, and this was something that I was kind of throwing around. It's like, okay, it's a remote control drone. I get that. But like, is it going to be something that you as a character is going to control, or is this something that you're going to kind of throw it down on the ground and it's going to just kind of like roam around until it finds somebody and then it chases them down? You know what I mean?
I hope that it's definitely remote control.
That's what it says on the thing. So
I know, like you'll have to hide somewhere because if somebody finds you,
you're
toast.
And then also, like, since it's a spider, is it going to be able to like climb on walls and shit?
Yeah, will it have webs that it can shoot?
Dude,
pull up on something? It's a spider. I mean,
I don't know if they'll shoot webs, but
I know we're giving them too much credit with that one, but
climbing on walls, maybe we may be giving them too much credit on the climbing wall.
Like it doesn't know what a wall is. We can't make it. No, it's climbing on characters.
What if it has to use the zip lines? Like that's how it's programmed.
It goes across.
That would suck.
Brad did a video about this actually, and I thought that his take on it was kind of interesting because he was like, you know, it's a remote controlled drone with the appearance of a spider that can be used to seek enemies and detonate near them, causing significant area damage. So when I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like RCXD, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like the RCXD and the drone on Warzone like combined into one, to where like it would be
fast.
Well, not only fast, but it would be really cool if you could mark shit. You know what I mean?
And then it just goes to it.
Well, not like as you're controlling the spider and you see someone, then you can mark like, hey, there's a guy right here, and you can use it almost as a passive intel character.
Yeah, kind of like Talon's new thing.
Mark
people, see them.
Yeah, so
that'd be nice, and it blows up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing too. It's like, you know, if it detonates near them, it causes significant area damage. Of course, we'd have to see like what the AoE effect of this is and how much damage it does and the damage fall off. But like, you know, my thing is like, what's the health on this spider going to be like? Because if you like spider up to someone and they notice you and you're already going to be hard to hit because you're going to be on the ground. And if you have a health pool of like 100 health, I don't think it'll be that much, but if you have a health pool like 50 health, before they're going to be able to destroy you, you're going to make it pretty fucking close to them.
Yeah.
You know? So I think
to blow up.
Yeah. And do either damage or down someone. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions when it comes to, you know, Guava's ability and how the spider is actually going to function. But I think that you know, the description is left open enough to where you can speculate, and any of the speculations are good, because even if it's like a spider drone thing that you throw down on the ground and you don't personally control and it patrols a specific area, well, hell, you could put that on flank routes. Yeah. And it would just be basically a roaming trip mine. Like that would be, I want to see the spider chase a Lancer. I'm just saying, you know, get that bitch out the game, you know, for sure.
I'm interested in the size of it.
I know, right? Yeah,
that's what, because it's like, how big is it?
Yeah,
because that'll be like you know, if it's really big, it won't be that hard to shoot.
What if it's like
the bigger these, you know?
Oh my god,
8-legged freaks.
Oh my god, big spider just comes out.
Spider just comes out of nowhere.
The whole team's gotta attack it.
I'm out.
You gotta shoot the red spots on its legs.
Yeah.
And then there's a big red spot on the back that you gotta get at the end.
Yeah. That would be so fucking crazy. But if
it's like calling in a nuke on Call of Duty, dude.
Yeah. It's gonna fuck everybody.
I'm dropping a spider in this game.
Yeah. Definitely gonna have enough time to plant the bomb, right? While they're fucking with the spider. Yeah.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Unless they beat the spider.
Yeah. But that's cool. Like, you know, that it's not anything new. It's not anything that we haven't seen before. Like in a third person shooter, it is a little bit different there, which I didn't play Fortnite a lot. So Garbo can answer this. Like, I don't know if there's anything that was like this in Fortnite where it was like a deployable that you could actually control.
I mean, we could fly our own vehicles and shit. They could actually shoot like planes, alien spaceships. So not relatively a remote drone, but aerial vehicles and stuff, yeah.
So I mean,
okay, so no.
So
I mean, I said no. You know,
I'm just fucking.
I did. Okay.
So it is something that is a little bit different. I just dropped a picture in there of apparently what the spider actually looks like.
What?
Yeah, and I'll flip over here so we can look at it. So apparently this is what it looks like, and then whenever it's destroyed, then it curls up like that. I guess before it explodes, I'm not sure. But Kramar also, of course, mined this stuff. I think that he got this stuff in Blender, which is kind of cool. But it looks like it's a decent size. It looks like it's about the size of a small dog.
Yeah. Big shoe.
Yeah, exactly. No. Which is fucking scary, dude. Like,
yeah.
I fucking hate spiders.
Imagine a beagle-sized spider running at you.
I would kill myself. In real life, I would just. I don't.
You don't even try to fight it.
No, dude. Hell no.
Don't ever dress your beagle up like a fucking spider around me. I'll shoot it.
Dude, those fucking Halloween costumes with the spider on the dogs, dude. That shit scared. Like the first time I saw that video, it was that black dog with that black spider costume on. I almost had a goddamn heart attack because I'm like, it's fucking happening. It's finally happening.
Like, what in Australia is this?
Yeah. I'm like, the fucking spiders are coming out of the core of the earth. You know, it's finally fucking happening, man.
Mole spiders.
Yeah. So that we've got that to look forward to, and I'm excited. I mean, of course, a new character is always, fun. It's always interesting to see what they do with a new character. And I think that, like, with the ability of possibly using this as an intel and an explosive, it adds a little bit more dynamic to it. And then also, if you're actually controlling this, you're taking yourself out of the game for a little bit. So it adds, it's a give and take, and I like that. I like that trade-off. It's kind of like, with Cannon and with some of the other characters, like, yeah, you can pull this big-ass gun out, but you're definitely not going to be able to jump while you're using it. You know what I mean? Like, and you're going to have to find that out the hard way, You're going
to fall off the map.
Yeah, and be pissed, for sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, next up, we have this community announcement. So this is something that was happening post PTS, and that sounds so wrong, post PTS, but
yeah.
But this is something that was happening post PTS. So we have a community announcement here. It says, "Hi Rogues, we're testing changes to our matchmaking system today to help improve the player experience in non-ranked queues. These will run regularly throughout the day to gather data from matches for our team. We don't expect you to notice any issues during these tests, but if you do run into poor matches or connectivity problems, then we would love to hear about it. Just scan the QR code to complete a brief survey about the issue." So there's a couple of problems with this, in my opinion. They did this on like a Monday at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get a lot of feedback and a lot of data because there's going to be a much lower player count at that time. It wasn't a holiday. It wasn't spring break or fall break or whatever. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a regular ass Monday that they did this on. And I understand why they wanted to do it with a lower player count, because they wanted to push it out to the games that are active and to see if it's going to break anything substantial while they're actually doing it. But at the same time, like, just do it on a weekend so that we can test the matchmaking system out. Yeah, like load it up Friday morning and let it run until you come back in on Monday morning.
Yeah, you do your server.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, for real. They just let it run while they're not there. Yeah. So it's kind of a bummer. And they've done 2 of these so far. So they did one not long after the PTS went down for season 4. And then they also did one earlier this week, I believe. And they both did them on weekdays when the player count, of course, is going to be low at the time. And it is what it is. Like, this is how they decided that they're going to test their new matchmaking system. I'm hoping that it gets to the point where they can actually test this, inside of the live game on a busy night, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type deal.
We get to try.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It would be really nice. Like, it would be perfect if, like, when the season 4 update launches and people are coming back to the game to do it, and then they're like, okay, after we do all the hot fixes for the first week and a half, then we're going to implement the new matchmaking system. And shit might be weird, but just bear with us here and give us feedback on the new matchmaking system. I think that wouldn't be too much to ask for, and I think that they would actually get some really good feedback from the players. But there's a problem with this, though, right? There's an overarching problem that comes down to the fact that, like, the new matchmaking system is inevitably just not going to work. And you can agree, you can disagree. It really doesn't matter. The new matchmaking system is not going to work. And you may be sitting there right now listening to this, asking yourself, why is the new matchmaking system not going to work?
I'm wondering myself, Griffin.
Well, the community broke the matchmaking system to begin with.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So if we go back in time, you know, if we pull a Marty McFly, right, and we go back to when the game first released and when they allegedly got 20 million downloads and all this kind of stuff, you know, the matchmaking system was not bad. The matchmaking system honestly wasn't bad for a while because you had people coming into the game constantly. You had people, you know, learning the game, learning the maps, learning the rogues, and having a good time with everything. Once people started to either plateau or, you know, whatever,
max out.
Yeah, max their account out, max the battle passes out. That's when you saw the matchmaking system kind of take a hard dip, in my opinion. And the reason why is because people are constantly like making new accounts.
Yeah.
And I know that we've talked about this, and I know that I've talked about this on several videos, and by the time this comes out, there's going to be a video addressing this as well, but like, the community fucked the matchmaking up to begin with. The matchmaking system is put in there to look at your player skill versus your player level, and to actually put you in a slot, to slot you in somewhere while you're at the time that you queue, so that it makes an even match, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So if you're a level 10, and you're on your second account and your first account is a level 550, the match
cracked.
Yeah.
You know,
you've been playing the game long enough that you're probably going to be better than most of the people that are playing in the lower mid or mid high tiers, for sure, right? The matchmaking system sees that this is a new account, and it's like, hey, this is a new account. We need to throw it up against some people that are also new accounts. And then when you join into those matches and just completely fucking annihilate everything in that match, then the matchmaking system's going to be like, this person is a little bit better than your average person that downloads the game. So we're going to up it up just a little bit. They throw it in that match. That person annihilates everything in that match. Then the matchmaking system's like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
Where do we need to slot this individual in at? Because they're now a level 8 and they have 0 deaths and they've got like 238 kills.
Yeah. Remember, they've already tried to fix this once by removing the levels.
Oh yeah. Of course.
So you couldn't see it because you were, you know, after the game, you'd be like, what? This guy was a 20?
Yeah.
Like, he played like a god.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
He should go pro.
Yeah. And
Make some money.
But you can still look at it if you know how.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And we do it a lot.
Yeah, just to see.
Almost like we have a little guessing game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, 2 new accounts and then 2 like real accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 level 400s and then 2 level 22s.
And you're definitely playing together. So you guys just swap it out, right?
Yeah.
I'll play on my new one tonight so you guys can let. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I would say that, like, at this point, there's probably, I would say, either 0.5 or 1% of the 20 million people that's downloaded this game that is actually running multiple accounts, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's a lot of people still. But I'm just going to just spitball it. I'm just going to say that it's going to be, you know, less than 1% of people are doing this. But the less than 1% of people that are doing this,
fuck the matchmaking up.
Yeah, because if you've got 20 million people that download the game, then realistically, how many people are actually playing the game at one time? And what is the total active player count? There is no way that it is an active player count of anywhere near 20 million people.
Yeah, it's just 1,000 on Steam right now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, it is more popular on console, so you can, you know, up that quite a bit based off of like console players and everything. But, there's not a lot of active people playing the game, and there's not a lot of active people playing at one time. So whenever you're getting on there with like a new account and you're just wrecking asshole for like, you know, hours and hours and hours on end, the matchmaking system doesn't know what to do. And then how is the new matchmaking system going to be able to account for this? Exactly. The only way that it's going to be able to account for this is if it recognizes how many accounts that you have on a specific piece of hardware, and then it averages out, your skill level across all those different accounts, and then places you where you need to be. But then then that gets into actual true skill-based matchmaking, to where it actually pulls from multiple accounts to put you in the place that you need to be. And I know that these people that are creating new accounts probably doesn't want skill-based matchmaking, and they probably don't want skill-based matchmaking to be that intelligent.
Well, then they'll just stop making new accounts.
Yeah.
And I don't think,
Yeah.
We don't want them to stop doing that, I don't think.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. I think that there's a monthly meeting that's like how many new accounts were created, how many of those accounts have remained active.
Record numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, I mean, whether you want to agree with us, whether you want to disagree with us, I mean, the community, the player base, fuck the matchmaking up to begin with. And, I can't blame High Res or First Watch Games or Rogue Company anymore for the matchmaking. The only people that is worthy of being blamed for fucking everything up is the players that go in there and create new accounts.
Yeah.
Like, can anybody realistically give me one reason as to why a new account is acceptable?
I don't have one. I don't think any of us do. I mean, I put money on that account. I want to play on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's exactly it, man. I'm spending well over $100 on my account. I don't want to fucking use another account, man.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm also not looking to get easier games. I want to play games that challenge me so I can become better at the game, because I'm already not good. So,
and that's the reason that matchmaking, and especially skill-based matchmaking, is supposed to exist. Like, if you plateau out as an individual, then you're not learning from your mistakes anymore. That means you're not excelling as a human being at that point. Because
I mean,
go ahead.
All right. The promise of skill-based matchmaking, it sounds really great, but in every game I've ever seen it implemented in, it just doesn't work right. And it never has worked right.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think, and the reason why is because there's too many random variables that come into effect with that. Like, I think that skill-based matchmaking was great when we were playing Halo, because we were playing Halo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there was actual skill-based matchmaking there a little bit, especially like in the rank stuff with Halo, because like, you had to go out and pay $60 at a store. You actually had to leave your house,
Yeah, dude.
To buy this game. And then, you can have multiple accounts on your console, but like, your stats in that game meant everything in high school.
It really did.
Yes, it did.
So that in Call of Duty 4 as well.
Yeah, exactly. And as time has gone on, and as the younger generation has gotten older and gotten into playing video games, it seems like the pride that people take in their account has just gone completely out of the window. And then now it's just like, I'm good, but only when I play on my 18th account. It's like, but
man, whenever we go up against a team where we go like, they don't even score.
Yeah.
They get barely like 1 or 2 kills. It's like we're winning, but really it feels like you're losing at the same time, because it's like, it's not fun. You're wasting time that you could have been playing another game. Like, they're getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah,
might get offline.
Yeah,
like it's that bad. Like, that's not fun.
No, it's not fun for anybody. And then it's like you said, it's wasting time. It's like, put me in something that's actually like worth a damn. Let me have a good experience while we're doing this, because that's why I'm here. And those matches that we go 5-5, and it's the last round, those are the most intense, fun to play matches. But we
finally got one the other night. We've been trying to get one forever, like a week of trying.
Yeah,
finally got one, a nail biter.
Yeah, and it's like those matches mean everything. And since they lowered, the rounds needed to win in demolition, down to 6, it feels like it's less and less as well, because like it's usually neck and neck up until that halftime turning point.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's either one team or your team. It doesn't matter. Just excels completely out.
The momentum.
Yeah. So it'll be, I couldn't tell you how many games that we've played in the past month where it's been a 2-6. The enemy team's got 2 points and we've got 6, or we've got 2 points and the enemy team's got 6. Like, there's not, like, them extending the demolition matches to 8 was not a bad idea, because it actually made it to where you can take risks in rounds and you don't feel punished for it. But now you feel punished for it. So everything is a little bit more campy. It's a little bit more passive, and a lot of people just don't want to deal with that shit. So I'm interested to know what anybody that listens to this section of the broadcast thinks about the matchmaking system. And if you agree with the fact that the community has fucked the matchmaking system up, because if you agree, let us know. If you disagree, please let us know, because that's the only thing that I can think that is fucking the matchmaking up. You can't say it's the player count, because there's enough people playing the game across all different skill ranges that you should never have a problem with the matchmaking being what it is. Because if we 4 queue together, our skill ranges all vary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So realistically, how hard is it to pair another team of 4 people up against us? It shouldn't be that hard. But whenever you're going up against a team and the top 2 people on the enemy team that have, well over 15 downs apiece are level 10, and the bottom 2 people on their team are both well over level 300, then something is wrong. So, I just, it is what it is. All right, next up here we have Kramar posted this on Twitter. This is something that I wanted to touch on, because we normally don't talk about bundles or DLC or anything like that that's coming up. We hit on it every now and then, but I think that this is a really good bundle, so that they have an Epic Pack coming for Rogue Company. And in this Season 4 Epic Pack, you get a free Rogue Scorch, free Rogue Switchblade. You get the free Inferno Imp Switchblade skin, and you also get 20,000 Battle Pass experience. I just kind of wanted to put this out in the ether, because, like, if you don't have Scorch, if you don't have Switchblade, and if you want that badass Switchblade skin, just make an Epic account. It's going to be the free thing to claim whenever the Season 4 update happens. Just go on there, claim it. Make sure that your accounts are linked, and you should be able to have that on your primary account. And I think that, like, Scorch
drops on the 11th.
Yeah.
So
it drops on the 11th, and I think that this is a good pack. I think this might be the best pack that they've done so far.
Yeah.
I know that, like, I think PS4 and PS5 got Sigrid for free, and that was great. That's awesome that they gave Sigrid away. I don't know if Xbox or Microsoft has done anything, and I know that Epic has done some things here and there, especially whenever it was an Epic exclusive. But this is a great thing, and I'm really excited about that Switchblade skin, and I'm sure we'll see more Switchblades and Scorches if people go over there and claim that stuff. So that's great.
I wonder if this is why it's, they were removed from the Amazon Prime gaming thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to start putting stuff out on Epic. Because they've never done this before with, like, a little thing you can get.
No.
And, and it's in the free game of the week slot.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't use Epic, they give away a game every week.
Yeah.
Some good decent titles sometimes,
Yeah, they've never done it like this. I know at one point they gave away a Phantom skin and something else, but that wasn't in the slot of the free game for that week.
Yeah,
it was just
like
some
an add-on.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you got like a weapon wrap or something like that, and yeah, it was just a little add-on thing that was for free for people on Epic, but it wasn't anything like this. I mean, this is a really good skin, 2 rogues, and 20,000 Battle Pass experience. That's fucking insane. That's a lot, So
I'll be claiming it.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. So if you have Epic, be sure to claim that. If you don't have Epic, it's free to make an account. Just sign up, claim it. Make sure that your accounts are linked. There's several videos out there on how to link your accounts. I think that Brad put one up recently. I think Radthar's put one up. It's pretty easy to do, and they show you how to do it. So be sure to check those videos out if you have any questions, or you can leave a comment down below, and we'll help you out as much as we can. you know? Okay, so the community section this week is going to be, we're going to transition into it a little bit differently than we have in the past, because there is a community issue, and then there's also a response from a high-res employee that is attached to this. And I know that we've had these in the past where, like, Scott has commented on something on Reddit, and then we've thrown that in there. It's like, oh, Scott said this about this. But I think that this is a little bit more than just that. You know what I mean? So we'll just kind of run through it and we'll break it down right now. All right. So this was posted over on Reddit by Apocalypse Weather. And this has got the high res responded. This is a little bit different, but we're going to go into it and we're going to just tackle it from top to bottom. So the title of it is "The Pessimistic Vocal Minority of This Sub Can Fuck Off, to be honest." And it's amazing how they said fuck off in the title. That's what the majority of people on Reddit see. They don't even see the post, and the moderators let that fly. But anyway.
Yeah.
This individual said, "I have had my moments where I've given up for a week or two on this sub and game. I've even straight up just left the sub once before. But damn it, the high-res team is trying their hardest and it shows. I appreciate that. If you can't, that's fine. But I wish more people could realize how hard this team is obviously working to make this game as good as we want it to be. Big thanks to High-Res Mini for getting back to me on my most previous post regarding the balance of cosmetics versus quality of life. Most of the time, as long as you're being respectful and proactive with your comments/concerns, they will almost always get back to you in a timely manner. This ain't Activision or I don't know what R Star is. Do y'all know what that is?
Rockstar?
Rockstar? Yeah.
Oh, okay. This ain't Activision or Rockstar, y'all. These people listen and try really hard to hear us out. Appreciate and take advantage of that. I know it's a lot easier to be reactive and argue with people all day long, but take it from a very angry, argumentative, reactive person. You catch a lot more flies with honey. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'll be on in about 2 hours if anybody wants to squat up." So regarding the post itself, so yes, he's absolutely right. It's way easier to catch more flies with honey than it is with vinegar. 100%. But I also do think that a lot of the people within the community itself do come off as being argumentative. They do come off as being angry, and they also come off as being a reactive, person or reactive personality type, because specifically they've dealt with the game. They've been playing the game. They have very strong thoughts and opinions on the game. And at a certain point, it feels like nothing is being done about this stuff. And we all know as a group, right, that they're doing the best that they can do over there. They're trying really hard to make sure that this is, a game that we all like and that we all enjoy. I get that 100%. But at the same time, sometimes you have to actually put your real thoughts and real opinions out there. And I think here at Broguecast, we do a pretty good job of putting our own thoughts and opinions out there, whether it be positive or negative in relation to the game itself, right?
Right.
Yes.
I mean, if there's something that's good, we praise it. If there's something that's bad, we condemn it. That's just kind of how it is. That's just kind of how it rolls. And I know that sometimes we come off as having a little bit more of an aggressive tone whenever we talk about certain things. But the reality of the situation is we're just very passionate individuals. We like the things that are good. We don't like the things that are bad. I think that that's a fair assessment to say over the mass majority of the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people also don't get that Southern is shit, and sometimes that does come off as us being mean, even though it's just we're not.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like a lot of people from other areas of the country, specifically in the northern region, the northeastern region.
Yes.
If I talk to these individuals, they come off like smart assholes.
Yeah, like a dickhead.
And I know
that's the way they sound.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the exact way that they sound to us. To us, that's how they sound.
Yeah.
And that might not
I know
be
many of them, dude. Like, I thought they hated me, but they like me.
Yeah, right.
And
exactly.
it's just like, oh, you're just that way. Okay, cool. Now I know that.
Yeah. And like I said before when we were talking about all of this stuff, we're all very matter of fact. We take everything for what it is, and then we just give our, unfiltered, unbridled opinion on it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You don't, at the end of the day, you're not going to question where we stand on something. The only thing that you may question where we stand on something is something that's not yet been introduced either into the game or into whatever it is that we haven't actually had to, the pleasure of personally testing out. So we can't really comment on that stuff. And then we also take the time to point out the fact that we can't comment on that because we don't have any experience with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're just all very matter of fact. We all like the things that we like. We all dislike the things that we dislike. And that's that. I understand what this guy's saying. And I understand, especially on Reddit, there is a lot of like, this fucking shit is broken and it sucks.
Yeah.
And it's true.
That's what Reddit's for, though. That's,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, for sure. And a lot of
start a thread, you're going to get some shit post.
Yeah.
I mean,
and to be fair, a lot of the shit is broken and a lot of the shit is fucked up. I mean, that's just
the way it has been for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
How nice was Zerger being with his tweets?
Oh, I know, right?
At first, he was just like, hey, man, I think I figured out what's wrong with aim assist. Hey, man, hey, man, hey, man. He wasn't being mean. Where was his answer?
Exactly, right? Exactly. But anyway, on this, Hi-Res Mini actually responded. So,
what?
And we're going to run through this response, and I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing and why it's a bad thing, in my opinion. And this is going to come down to me sounding like an asshole, and I don't care. This is just how it is. So Hi-Res Mini said, thank you for the kind words. To those who haven't seen me around much, hi, I joined the team back in April as Rogue Company's senior community specialist. I've worked in the game industry for about 12 years now, and I'm happy to say that I'm extremely happy here on the Rogue Company team. Everyone I work with on a daily basis is exceptional, kind, thoughtful, and great at what they do. We know Rogue Company players have dealt with a lot in the past few months. We deal with the same issues, and if anything, it can feel even more frustrating as a developer because of how invested you are in the project you work on. This isn't meant to disparage or alienate anyone with frustrations around these issues, but to say that we understand because we're Rogue Company players too. In the last couple of months, we've placed a lot of emphasis on bug fixes and are going to be steadily working towards the goal of a smoother player experience. This means more bug fixes, tests, and surveys. Unfortunately, as the saying goes, 9 women cannot deliver a baby in a month. Some player pain points like the Xbox buzzing issue have been extremely pesky to solve because they're not something that we can consistently reproduce, so solving it can be a bit like playing whack-a-mole, and adding more people to the problem doesn't necessarily create a quicker solution. Ditto to the tier crashes. This was an incredible find by one of our engineers thanks to a Redditor sending in crash logs from their console with a comment attached. This allowed us to fish that log out of the dump we get and figure out that the player was using Tritanope. Is that Tritanope or Tritanope colorblind mode, which was causing an out-of-memory crash when players spectated the tier. This is all to say we're listening, we hear you, and we are continuously working to improve the player experience. Thanks for bearing with us and supporting the team. So, this is a great, great, great post from Hi-Res Mini and from First Watch Games, Hi-Res, and Rogue Company. The fact that this is buried on a Reddit post.
Well, I was going to say, did they tweet this out?
No, this was not posted on any of the social media.
90,000? Oh.
Yeah. So I'm very happy for Apocalypse Weather that he, posted on Reddit and the community manager commented and made this fantastic post. What sucks is the rest of the community that doesn't frequent the Reddit page has no idea that this even exists. There is nothing like this that is typed up and put on their Twitter page, on their Facebook page, on their website. There is nothing. This is buried on a Reddit post. This is something that if I wrote this before I posted this, I would have emailed this to my boss and said, hey, what do you think about this? How does this sound before I post it? Also, can we distribute this information on social media so that the entire community that has access to social media, that has access to the website, Twitter, Facebook, it doesn't matter, can actually see that we're actually trying to fix these bugs, that we're taking all this player feedback. And there's also an example in here of how we fixed the tier crashes and what was done to actually make the tier work in game. Why did they not do this?
I don't know. That would be a big help because you need more people submitting match IDs.
Exactly. You're
And
100%.
that's something that needs to get out there. Like,
yeah, you're 100% correct on this. And this should have been something that was posted from Rogue Company's page. This is what drives me crazy about Rogue Company. The only thing that they want to post on their Twitter account or their Facebook account is the fact that they got 20 million downloads and the fact that they've got new shit to sell in the store and that they've got new updates coming. That's all good and great if your game was perfect and running correctly. But whenever you have the community that are like, please fix the game, and then you have people responding to posts on Twitter, on Facebook, over here on Reddit, and it's not mass produced and put out there into the ether, there is something wrong. People want this information. And it blows my mind that something that is this good, that is this well written, is buried inside of a Reddit post that, I mean, yeah, it's got 83 upvotes. That's great that 83 people saw this. But that's 83 people out of, in theory, 20 million people. Can we not get this out to more people? Because I think that the majority of the community would like to know this information. Like, I'm sorry, Apocalypse Weather, but this right here is the prime example as to why that a lot of people don't take the developers seriously. It's great. It's good and great that they put this on Reddit and they responded to this guy. But also at the same time, it's a shame that a small fraction of anybody actually saw this thing.
65,000 people in here.
Yeah.
The Twitter has what, over 200,000 almost?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I didn't know about this.
No, I didn't.
And I play the game all the time.
Exactly. And
the only time I look at this Reddit page is when we do this, man. I try to stay off of it because
I'm on Reddit.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. But I'd see it on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, and I want to give a shout out to Otaku for Life. He actually posted this in the general chat over on the Discord page. And I actually responded to what he was saying. I usually don't have nice things to say about Hi-Rez's efforts to communicate with the player base. However, this post on Reddit from Hi-Rez Mini gives me a bit of hope. And you're right, Otaku, 100% correct on that. But I would also ask you, why is it buried on a Reddit page? This Reddit post has 161 upvotes total, and then her response has 83 upvotes in total.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of people.
But a damn good mission statement.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that sucks. That's why it's hard. Like, this whole post contradicts what the point of the post was, in my opinion. I'm happy that the guy got the response, but Jesus Christ, can you not release this to everyone and let everyone know what's going on and put it out there into the ether? And of course, people are going to shit on it and bash it and all this kind of stuff. But at least that you took the time to actually post this on your large social media platforms to get this information out into the world.
Full player first mentality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd vote for you after that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
You're running for anything, dude.
Yeah.
You sold me on that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, this is a great post. This is one of the best written, community awareness posts that I've seen anybody from Hi-Rez or First Watch Games post. Like this,
I think it's the first one I've seen.
Yeah, exactly. This blows everything that Gandhi ever posted out of the water. So I just wanted to bring that up. Like I said, it was a little bit different. This is a community concern, but it also has something to do with the company and everything. And I wanted to kind of put that together and have this be the transition point over into the community related section of everything, because it is a community post with the community manager actually replying to everything. And I think that her response is fantastic. I just think that it's a shame that it's buried on some obscure website that not a lot of people frequent. Like if you look at the website on Reddit right now, it's got 65.3K people that are part of it, and you have 112 active on it right now. That's not a lot of people.
Like how many people saw the post? It's nowhere near.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, who did somebody buy some? I don't know, but
yeah.
Dude, I don't think they want to redirect people to this post because those comments are pretty saucy,
Yeah, I know.
I've been scrolling through there and it's like, whoa, I'm going to have to come back and check this out. There's some back and forth.
Yeah, like this one right here. You just became a victim of marketing.
Yeah.
You really believe? Yeah,
Yeah.
legit.
I saw that.
Okay.
Oh, and he replies to it. Like, it goes on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. Oh, yeah, I'm going to come back and look at that.
Yeah.
Bookmark it.
That's rough, right? All right, everyone. After that Reddit post here, we do have the community section of the unofficial Rogue Company podcast, Broguecast. This is where anyone can feel free to contribute anything that they want to the episode of Broguecast. You can do that by, shooting us a message over here on the Discord page. You can tweet at us at Broguecast. You can shoot us an email, broguecast@gmail.com. And there's not a lot of topics that we would shy away from. If you feel like there's an issue, if you have a question or anything like that, we'll tackle it. And we actually do have a Broguecast contribution this week that we're actually going to tackle last. So please be on the lookout for that. But first up, we have a post here by Elias J. Fake Name. I think that's not a real name. He posted padded steps should be a high tier perk, cost at least 10,000. So this is what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about the value changes to padded steps itself. I found this post over on Reddit and I thought this was pretty interesting. It's essentially a downgraded version of Lancer's ult. Sure, you can't sprint, but a lot of the time you don't need to, especially in game modes like Demolition. It's far more powerful than the likes of tracker rounds, and in a lot of cases, I will buy it over replenish. And there are actually real-life people that I've gone against that buy it over a gun. I know they already raised the price, but I think that its value far outweighs the price. So
I was thinking more like 8.
He's not.
8 maybe.
10 is pushing it. Well, 10, what's his highest perk?
Well, the highest perk's 12, and I think that is Life Drain 12 a 12k perk?
I believe it is. Yeah.
So I think
I don't even get replenished, guys. I don't have a problem reloading and stuff. I don't even fuck with it. I used to, but
yeah.
I mean, if you got extra money.
Yeah. I think that replenish is a good perk, but I do think that like padded steps, like I said before, when you lay all the perks out on the table and you pick the most important perks, padded steps is definitely going to be part of that list.
Yeah. It's going on Mount Perk more.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I always buy it.
And like you guys said, like 8K would be to me the sweet spot for it because we only have one 8K perk in the game right now, and that's tenacity. And I think that, I would be okay with a rogue having 2 8K perks, or, if they swapped out the people that have tenacity don't have padded steps and vice versa. Like I think Glitch has tenacity and he also has padded steps.
Yeah. There's no rule that they both can't be 8K.
Exactly. And, I think that we're eventually going to get to the point where it's going to be a higher price perk because when the game first came out, not a lot of people were gravitating towards padded steps because like a lot of people came over from playing games with terrible audio.
Well, I've watched people stream, dude, and play with Lancer and not buy it. And I'm like, you ain't looking at them padded steps?
Yeah, for sure.
I still
right.
play games with terrible audio.
Yeah, for real, right? But that is one thing, like, I will praise the game up and down about that there are
great audio.
It's got great audio, and like any of the audio inconsistencies that are in the game, it's only effective on like 1 or 2 maps. It's like on Glacier, you can't tell if they're
where you can't tell if they're above you. Yeah, that's where I have issues.
Yeah, but that's one
But
map.
that's all. I mean,
yeah. So,
but that's the only time it can't tell you if they're like,
you can tell they're
like
not on your
audio
level,
can't
but you
pitch
can't
up.
tell which level.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But that'd be hard to do.
Well, I mean,
I get it.
I mean,
all the sound in your headphones would have to pitch up.
Well,
so if you're listening on a TV, because it would have to go up or under.
Yeah.
Well,
they
to the bottom of the headset, like, and it'd be hard to.
They could easily fix that without doing that. Like,
I have heard that 3D audio. One guy, I watched a video and he said that was worth trying. He actually liked it.
I may have to give that a go then.
Yeah, I mean, and it may help with that.
Yeah, it may.
If you think about it, like, I don't know. We'll check it out.
And one thing about like the audio cues on someone being above and below you, like on Glacier, it's like that
doesn't happen a lot.
It doesn't happen a lot, but like the flooring above you is different than the flooring on the lower level. So they could give a different audio footstep to where
maybe it's deeper if it's above you.
Well, you're walking on
one sounds more metallic than the other.
Yes, because you're walking on graded floors on the bottom level, but on the top level, you're walking through that wide hallway of like trippy nonsense, you know?
Well, like when you hear someone in an apartment walking above you, it's always deeper.
Yeah.
The bass, you know.
Right. And it's higher below.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that padded steps, I mean, they're increasing it to 5K. I understand why Garbo's like, what the fuck? But because it is such a valuable perk. But in the grand scheme of things, like this should be an 8K perk.
Yeah.
It is so valuable.
I think it's one of the top 3 most useful ones.
I'd still buy it every time.
Yeah. I mean, I buy it every time. Yeah. I see it, I purchase it like immediately.
Yeah. And then,
even like he said right there, like even over the gun, like I'll buy the gun, but sometimes if I look down and I see it, I just go boop, and then I'll go
buy it first.
So he's not wrong.
Yeah. I buy it. If I'm playing Talon, I buy that gun and a level on the gun. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
They ain't gonna hear me coming, you know, and I'm walking everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
As soon as I land, I'm walking.
Straight high stepping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiptoed.
Well, and I think that if they threw that perk in a higher price range, then you're actually going to have to like set aside money for that perk specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either people are going to like not spend as much money at the beginning of the game so that they can get that on the second round, or people are not going to have padded steps until the third or fourth round in the match.
Yeah.
So,
and I know why they were like, we're shortening the game.
Yeah.
Making it, it's 6 rounds now.
Yeah.
Change the price. So here's more money.
Right. So next up, we have this post by Cobalt Boo. Hi Res, please introduce map changes for seasonal events. I think it would be awesome, for example, Christmas or Halloween, we could introduce map changes to spice things up. Like maybe put trees and lights in Icarus or make a night map. While skins are nice, some small changes would go a long way in the maps. And we've talked about like doing weather effects and things like that on maps. And we did talk about like if they did a night version of all the maps, then it basically doubles your map count at that point. But how cool would that be? Like, if they did like the Christmas update, because I think
it's snowing.
Well, they don't even have to make it snowing. They just could put piles of snow around on the
map.
Like
snow on the ground. Yeah. That'd be good.
And then they could, like he said, let's have some trees up or just have light, Christmas lights hanging on the pre-existing cover and things like that. I mean, I don't think that that's too much.
Yeah, the fountain in the middle, put some Christmas lights on it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that would add a different level to it, especially if you're going to have events focused around holidays. Like, I know that they weren't able to do a Halloween event this year. They did the Halloween skins, but they didn't do like a arms dealer event or anything like that. But Kramar has found like Christmas skins and a possible Christmas event in the data mining. It would be nice if when they did that update, then it was that way from that update up until, the end of Christmas or the end of New Year's or whatever. And you had Christmas lights, you had the snow on the ground, and you had like, jingle bells, just add a couple little
jingle
audio.
Bell rock.
Yeah, exactly. Add a couple
rocking
little
around
audio.
the Christmas tree.
Dude, a lot of those Christmas songs are public domain. I'm just saying.
Well, like the scene from Home Alone.
Yeah, right.
The tree and little train going around it.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I think that would be really cool. And I think that would be fun. It would spice the game up a little bit because you would be like, I would be excited to play like High Castle or Glacier to see what Christmas things that they added to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Give me an Anvil Santa Claus skin.
I want a fucking cannon Santa Claus skin, dude.
Well, I mean, I guess we could do that.
I think that he would be like the best candidate for the claws. You know what I mean?
Make them all one.
Yeah, or elves. All right, next up, we've got a post here by Rogue Anon Advice. As a well-known player with over 70 days played, here's some unsolicited feedback to Rogue Company. So 6v6 plus weapon mastery killed a lot of streaming. Nobody enjoys watching 6v6. It's very boring to watch, and streamers don't care about shit when they play it. You can tell they're bored as fuck. And people get bored playing it. At the same time, they want to get the weapon mastery skin. Thus, viewers go down and streaming goes down. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Wrong.
Yeah. You don't lose RP for losing ranked matches. This might result in more players playing ranked, but this isn't a good metric to judge this by. Everybody is so indifferent to it. Players, streamers, viewers stop caring. And what else are they going to do? Play 6v6? See above. Everyone else gets bored and leaves. There's no competitiveness to this game currently. This will make a lot of people angry. This is not mentioned because there's a huge conflict in interest between top streamers, your top comp players, and your potential player base. Aim assist is too strong. I believe this is a game better played on mouse and keyboard. However, what no one talks about is that aim assist is too strong, to the point that it makes competing on mouse and keyboard for casual players, yes, casual includes ranked, too hard. Native mouse and keyboard players switch to controller players in this game. Mouse and keyboard is where you'll likely get a large majority of players in general, and also competitive shooters exist. Look at the Fortnite aim assist situation early on. It practically doesn't exist anymore. Maybe they don't know how to play this game. Seriously. I never knew until a month ago that a point on strikeout costs you a life. I barely knew how to play demolition. I mean, that's true. There's no explanation to how these game modes work really anywhere. You know what I mean? Streamers, paranoid, anxious people makes a large chunk of player base. There's not enough settings for these tons of people. Can't hide your name, can't hide your enemy's name, etc. Okay, I played a game, maybe ranked up, maybe not, maybe won a strikeout match. Now I'm going to log out for another month. Not enough to keep me here. Not like I know anybody who plays this game. Social interaction. Yeah. Barely anybody on your team uses a mic. Add text chat, not just for your team, but so that you can also talk to the enemy team. I believe it will make games far more engaging. Lastly, what's the point? No scoreboard, high score, no ranking, no streamers, game goes down. I could go on and on, but I think these are a lot of the big reasons. So there's a lot of stuff that Rogue Non-Advice covers here in this post. And some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I disagree with. I'm not sure about the aim assist because I
have something to add to the aim assist. I think what he's talking about, though, someone that's playing like in tournaments and stuff and using a controller with game assist, like they're playing on a PC. They're getting like 150 frames. They're maxed out.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of the consoles are capped.
They're getting
and that aim assist is gonna blow your mind away. You know, it'd be like that's what I think. That's you got to say that when it comes to that, like aim assist is like, oh, this motherfucker's playing on a gaming computer.
But does it really make aim assist
the frames
stronger?
Because there's more frames. Well, that's just like me. Like I might win a gunfight with someone because I have more frames than them.
So if Griffin played on lower frames, do you think he would perform like?
The frames help, don't they help? That's why you want as many as you can get, right?
Yeah, that is very much true.
When you turn a corner on somebody, when you got more frames than them,
you're gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
that latency server.
I just don't think aim assist is strong. That's as strong as he makes it out.
I don't think
that's why I'm adding for me with computer. That's why I'm adding that with the 150 frames.
Yeah. So
with a badass NVIDIA graphics card, and a Ryzen chip.
Mm-hmm.
You're pulling some juice off that controller.
But I will agree with what this guy said, though. The 6v6 and the weapon mastery, it is boring to watch people play respawn modes in Rogue Company. I'm sorry, it is just boring as shit to watch.
It's boring to watch anyone do a respawn mode. Like watching Dr. Disrespect play multiplayer in COD is boring.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, other than it just being him and what he was doing, like he's the only thing entertaining.
He can make just about anything entertaining. Yeah,
I mean, just watching multiplayer is boring like that.
And back in the day, it wasn't because that's all we had. The only games that actually existed that only had single life round based game modes was like Counter-Strike and like Counter-Strike.
Huge following,
Yeah, there may have been a couple of Rainbow Six
People
games
still
out at
playing
time.
that shit.
Yeah, but now in a world to where battle royales exist, where you get one life and you may be able to get bought back or have your card turned into respawn or whatever, but you have to play that game as a one life. And with the huge explosion of BRs and then this, like it's not the same. And then
there was a YouTuber, man, a big YouTuber that said he noticed in his video stats, like when he's playing BR, because that's what he's doing was mostly Warzone content.
Yeah.
The first time you die, most of the time people click off.
Oh, I believe it.
If you die and go to the gulag, dude, they're done.
Yeah.
They leave, and it's like because they want to watch you reset. Like,
yeah, because you have to rebuild everything.
It's like 12 more minutes of that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
All for nothing, maybe.
Yeah. The ranked RP thing. So they've come out several times. Hi-Res Mini, Gandhi, a couple other people have came out and said that you're actually losing RP in ranked matches. It's just not showing you that you're losing RP, and it's also not showing you that your level is going down.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It's
bugged. Why doesn't it show you?
I don't know. It's bugged. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
In the ranked mode, there's some shit that don't work. Like,
yeah, the rank system itself. Yeah, exactly. And he says maybe they don't know how to play this game. Like, there's no tutorial. Like, you get a tutorial where it shows you the basics, but there's
throw a bomb.
Yeah,
reload a gun. Like,
yeah, but there's
shit you already know.
Yeah, like if you ask me how to explain Strikeout to someone, I'd be like, well, it's like King of the Hill and Team Deathmatch had a baby because you have tickets that actually are respawns for your team, but like you have to control a hill because if you control the hill, then it takes tickets away from the enemy team, which is respawn. Like, it's so fucking complicated.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's
how. If you get the hill, it takes it away from them.
If you get the hill and you control the hill for a certain amount of times, it starts subtracting
takes
respawns.
Their lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and like, there's no explanation anywhere. You just have to like get on and learn it. Yeah, learn it for yourself.
You gotta get some secondhand information, like I just did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Streamers, paranoid, anxious people make a large chunk of the player base. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, there's a lot of people that are content creators for the game that play the game. There's a lot of people that stream the game that play the game. There's a lot of people that stream the game that have viewers that play the game. But they don't have anything in there where, there's settings for streamer mode or anything like that. That's a huge chunk of your player base. People are, I don't know. People were saying that they were stream snipe playing Rogue Company. Well, I don't know.
It'll probably help you if you don't put TTV in your name.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Help a lot.
Because the only time we look up people is when they put TTV in their name.
Yeah.
But we don't look them up till after the game to rub it in if we win. You know what I'm saying? Or be like, why'd you back out?
Yeah. Well, 80% of the people that have TTV in their name
don't even have it down.
Or they haven't streamed in 8 months. Yeah.
Well, a lot of times you won't even be able to find it.
Yeah, like, I know.
Did you just put that in your name just to put it?
Yeah.
Pays up.
And then where he says, I played a game, maybe ranked up, maybe not, want to strike out, maybe not. Now I'm going to log out for another month. Not enough to keep me here. Not like I know anybody who plays this game. Social interaction, nobody's talking on their mics, text chat, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, the ping system's good. The ping system exists so that you don't have to talk to people with their mic. I would rather not talk to people. If people want to talk, then I'm okay with that. I'm not going to say a lot because I don't really care. But like he said,
with us, you don't want to talk.
No, I mean that.
Now I'm second guessing what we do.
No,
like,
I'm saying
if I don't want to talk. No, if I'm playing with randos and we're not friends, I'm only calling something out if it's important.
Yeah, but when he says not enough to keep me here, that's true because like they introduced the weapon mastery, people got on there and burned through the weapon mastery in like less than a week.
Done.
Yeah, and it's like I don't care if I master all the weapons.
No,
I would like to get to
sleep over it.
I'd like to get to a point where I have all the weapons mastered and it's 100%, but I'm not over here. Yeah, because I can gradually do it as I play the game instead of like feeling the urge.
I think it's more rewarding that way.
I think
to do it over time.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
Yeah. But that's a different generational mindset though.
Yeah.
Because like we weren't given everything instantly whenever we were growing up. So we kind of have this whole idea of like, well, we can earn this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Didn't get a pizza party if you lost.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So But I thought that was a pretty interesting post. That guy made a lot of points, but there's some stuff that, I disagree with. But on the whole, he's got 70 days played in game. I think that he has a lot of experience with the game, and a lot of the things that he did say was valid, whether you agree or disagree with it. I mean, for sure.
I hope he finds some people to play with.
I hope he does too.
That might help.
It's more enjoyable that way.
Yeah.
It's hard to play the game.
I don't like playing it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next up, we have this post here. This was on Twitter. I just snipped it out. Papilorian or Populorian, which is a great name, by the way. I've made this recently in hopes that this could be incorporated into the game when somebody changes the appearance of the rogue. I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Thank you. So a lot of people was like sending this to me on Twitter and stuff, but like, so basically he took the Talon, default skin and then added the new Talon skin to it. He also did the same thing with Ronin and the cat high skin. And then the Doc versus the Dr. Disrespect, which looks fucking incredible,
Yeah. So whatever skin you have turned on, you'll see it when you load in.
Yeah. And
that is how it should work.
It is. And it makes more sense with someone like Doc versus Dallas because Doc has his own voice lines. It's almost like it's a different character completely.
It is a different character.
Yeah. Right. So like, I think that this is a fantastic idea, and I don't think it would take a lot of time or a lot to actually introduce this into the game. Now, it would probably cause a shit ton of bugs, because
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would love to see this come to fruition. And I understand why they keep the default there because it's the default. It's been there since day one. You can look and instantly recognize. Is stable. Yeah, right. As a player, you can instantly recognize that they picked a Dallas. And if you're new to the game and you see Dr. Disrespect, you're like, I'm playing against the fucking Dr. Disrespect. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's Dallas, but it's a skin. Yeah.
Dude, whenever we call out Dallas, we call him Doc.
Yeah, a lot of times.
He's Doc, man.
Even when he's not wearing a Doc.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's Dallas, that's Doc, dude. Doc's over there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I wanted to throw that in here on the community section because, that's a fantastic idea. Hopefully they'll do something like that, or at least, give the ability to toggle that on and off. It should be toggled off for people that are just getting into the game and everything, but once you become familiar with the skins and the characters, you should be able to turn it on, and it would be nice to, it reflect who they're picking, who they're running is as, in the whole 9 yards. I think that would be cool. The last up, this is the Broguecast contribution. This is from Wu-Tang Tang 36 Forever. I'm Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, dude. I'm super competitive by nature. It's almost ruined this game for me. Unless I'm laughing with people in game chat while losing, I'm having a horrible time. Do you have any suggestions for the solo player?
Hey, this guy also posted the find a player room.
Yeah.
So if anybody's looking for a player, go on the server and hit this guy up.
Yeah, he'll call me up, man.
He's looking for people to play with.
Yeah, for sure. So I understand that you're super competitive by nature. I myself suffer from the super competitive.
You don't say.
Yeah. I unfortunately suffer from the same thing.
You're like a super predator, super competitor, dude.
I can't help it, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Laughing and having a good time in game chat while losing, I understand that makes it a little bit easier. The solo player, what I would suggest is to find something, unless you're playing ranked or something like that. If you're playing King of the Hill or Team Deathmatch or even Demolition, I would find something in that game to either test out or to learn about or become familiar with. So if you're not used to running the arbitrator, I would challenge myself to actually run the arbitrator and to learn the weapon, to learn how to counter the weapon by learning the weapon. So if you do things like that, then it kind of takes your mind off the fact that you're losing the game, but you're also gaining knowledge.
Yeah. You're mastering something.
Yeah, exactly. So I would focus on doing something like that. And maybe it's finding unique and interesting areas to put, the Talon Dart, especially with the buff that's coming to his Talon Dart and the reveal on it. If you can find really interesting places to put this thing that nobody's really ever thought of, then you've got a leg up on the competition. And that's something that you could learn, solo queuing. Or
I was doing that with him while I was trying to master the gun.
Yeah.
I was playing him a lot. So if there's a building that's really tall, throw that bitch way up there.
Yeah, they won't ever be.
They'll never see it.
No, not even Glitch will look
never.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would challenge myself in ways like that. So if you're super competitive, one of the best things that you can do is challenge yourself. And if you challenge yourself to learn something or to try something new or play in a different way. If you're a very passive player, I would try playing more aggressively and learning how to play more aggressively. I would use more aggressive focused rogues in doing that, like Lancer or Chalk or someone like that. But that's a good way. Or if you're more of an aggressive player, I would pick someone like Anvil or Trench or Vi and play a little bit more passively and learn learn how to use that to your advantage as being more of a passive player, because the passive players in Rogue Company are just as useful as the players that are very aggressive, because the information that they can give you and the way that they can lock down sites themselves is just an invaluable part of your team.
They're like the anchor of the team.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And create personal goals for yourself. Like, I know that there's the challenges that you can do, like revive 10 people in one match. Well, if you can revive 10 people in one match and you're playing respawn modes, why not try to get 20 revives or 30? Like, I know that it might not be doable and it may be an unrealistic goal, but try to set it for as high as you think that you can get it and just use that as your competitive nature. I wouldn't use it so much competitively where you're down in your own teammates to get that. But I would, give yourself personal goals and just roll with it that way.
You would never down your own teammates, would you, Griffin?
Only if we win the round.
as a celebratory down?
Yeah, as a celebratory down.
And then you get to heal the money? I
mean, yeah, you're right.
It's all right.
I can't hate on that.
I'll donate. I got 5 on it. 1,000,
It's crazy. Speaking of that, like, this doesn't have anything to do with the topic or anything, but since they reduce the amount of friendly damage that you do to people,
it's nice.
It's nice, but it's so weird.
I always forget.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I'm still trying to.
Yeah.
And then once I'm like, oh yeah, fuck it, throw it in there.
Yeah, right.
Send the rocket. They'll get out of it.
It's so weird playing the game and not getting down by Dema Blast or fucking whatever, randomly.
When that rocket, every time that rocket comes in, you're like, oh no, I'm dead. And you're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
no, you're all right, because you forget.
Yeah, I do. I forget a lot.
I can't tell you how many Dema Blasts I've died to.
Yeah, for real.
That's probably the most.
Yeah.
A Dema Blast.
There's nothing like a good Dema Blast in the back.
Yeah, to get the day started, like
to get the day.
First game, little Dema Blast.
Yeah, goes good with the coffee in the morning, But that's all that's all that I had for this episode of the Broguecast. Do you guys have anything?
No.
So the next episode, we'll be back with our Broguecast bug report. That's the next one.
Yeah, I mean, season 4 will be up by then.
A week.
And
yeah,
and we'll have experience playing it. It's probably it's going to be a long one, guys. I have a feeling that it's going to be a long episode. I'm hoping that the season 4 update goes just like the season 3 update did, to where there was a few problems, but it wasn't anything that was just astronomically bad. Season 3 was kind of smooth, more or less, and I was happy about that. So
yeah,
I'm hoping season 4 will do the same. And there are bug fixes. They talked about that in This Week in Rogue Company. They're introducing some bug fixes to some of the problem rogues and some of the problem areas. But I'm sure that they're going to have a laundry list of bugs that they're hopefully fixing. So we'll see whenever that comes out. But yeah, This is episode number 11 of the unofficial, unofficial Rogue Company podcast Broguecast. If you want to reach out to us, you can hit us up on Discord. The link will be in the description down below. You can tweet at us at Broguecast over on Twitter, or you can send us an email, broguecast@gmail.com. If there's anything that you would like to add to the podcast, any questions, concerns, any issues, anything like that, reach out to us on any of those platforms. We will include it in the broadcast as long as it's not something like crazy controversial or anything like that. Even if it is crazy controversial, we may include it anyway. Why not? But yeah, feel free to reach out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But feel free to reach out on those places, and be sure to tune in on the next episode when we will be talking about the season 4 update and probably the 18 hot fixes that will come within the first week. So for this broadcast, I'm here with Co Reed.
I'm here with Dirt Lord.
Garbo.
I'm here with Griffin.
Thank you guys so much for listening, so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or follow us on whatever, podcast outlet that you listen to our episodes on. Please send us some love. Please continue to listen. Please continue to watch, and try to have a good game. Thanks for watching, guys.